Hello everyone, Jul here. It's been a while since we are talking about action RPGs, and I think we've missed a lot of fantastic new games that all of you need to play in 2025. And for the start, we'll be diving for new isometric ARPGs or some Diablo-like games that you should try right now. And since we'll be talking about new games, the number in this list will not representing the ranking of the game. But before we go into the list, I want to introduce you to the best platform for buying games in this modern era, and it's called Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is the perfect place for you to shop in games these days. Your transactions are legit, fast, and their supports are ready 24/7, so you don't need to worry about anything. Do you think I was done? Not even close. They have lots of games for your favorite platforms, and they have the best deals as well. Instead of cutting your budget for dinner to buy new games, why not try Instant Gaming and eat healthy as well? All you have to do is just click my link in the description below, start searching for your favorite games, and use the activation code on your chosen platforms. By using my link, you're not only saving tons of money, but also helping me to support this channel. Alright then, let's get back into the list. From the moment you enter Netherworld Covenant, you sense the weight of a world torn between realms. You take up the mantle of a survivor, drawn into the mystery of the Nether Lantern, a powerful artifact that links the mortal plane and the Netherworld. The narrative unfolds gradually. Lore is discovered in fragments, and the world around you reflects the decay and dread of its corruption. The gameplay mechanics are a strong point. Combat demands precision like dodges, timing, managing stamina, and mastering movement powers like the ethereal dash. There's also a companion system called Soul Companions, which lets you partner with spectral allies, each shaping how you approach fights. Procedural generation also keep map layouts, enemy placements, and relic drops fresh, so no two runs feel exactly the same. Hell Clock drops you into a world rooted in the late 1800s War of Canudos in Brazil and combines that drama with dark fantasy. You play as a freed warrior committed to rescuing the soul of your mentor, the Counselor. The narrative doesn't waste time with overly long cutscenes. It is delivered in efficient speech bubbles, voice work, occasional cinematic boss moments, and strong environmental storytelling. What makes Hell Clock feel fresh is how it blends genres. Combat is fast, visceral, and messy in a good way, leaning into ARPG elements like loot, skill trees, and builds that let you mix and match weapons, magic-type powers, and upgrades. One of its most distinctive mechanics is the recurring timer. At the start of each run, you have roughly 7 minutes to explore and fight, and that time limit forces decisions. Push deeper for better loot, fight riskier encounters, or retreat and use your gains to gear up before another try. Heroes of Hammerwatch II is one of those rare sequels that knows exactly what to carry forward and what to expand. The first game already hooked players with its satisfying blend of roguelike progression, co-op flexibility, and charming presentation, and this follow-up keeps all of that intact while layering on more depth. The premise is straightforward. You set out from your town to face an evil cult, venturing into dangerous dungeons where death is inevitable. But the game makes failure part of the fun. Every run feeds into a larger loop of progression. Town building unlocks upgrades, buffs, and ways to tweak dungeon layouts. Characters grow through levels, stat boosts, and permanent equipment, while trinkets add run-specific bonuses that give each attempt a different rhythm. Class design is also another strength. You will choose from 7 classes, each with 3 subclasses that encourage experimentation, and the option to respec freely means no build ever feels wasted. Combined with various weapon skills, the possibilities are wide open, giving runs a sense of discovery beyond simple survival.
And stay down!
Beyond the Map is shaping up to be one of the more intriguing action RPGs to keep an eye on in 2025. The recent gameplay revealed a survival-driven experience set in a procedurally generated fantasy world, blending base building, crafting, and combat into a loop that feels both rewarding and flexible. The visual style stands out immediately, with an isometric perspective and muted colors that give the world a hand-painted quality. You begin on a simple beach, gathering stones and wood to craft tools and a workbench, before moving on to hunting skeletons, wolves, and other creatures for materials. Progression flows naturally as each new resource opens doors to crafting, from basic green gear to bronze forged from mined ores, with separate paths for tailoring, leatherworking, and smithing that support different playstyles. Progression is also equally dynamic. Instead of fixed classes, you collect skill pages to slot into your build, with glyphs linking abilities for deeper customization. Soulstone Survivors has finally left early access after 3 years of development, and the result is one of the most content-rich bullet heaven games available in 2025. While it shares the familiar foundation of the genre, its structure and depth set it apart from the rest of contenders. Instead of a timer dictating survival, each run tasks you with defeating 5 bosses, creating a rhythm that allows breathing room for collecting XP and healing before the next challenge. Where the game truly shines is in its variety. With more than 350 skills and over 20 unlockable characters, every run feels like an opportunity to experiment with new builds. Each character has unique strengths, weapons, and abilities, and the meta progression encourages players to push into different maps and modes to unlock materials and permanent upgrades. Beyond the standard void fields, the game also offers the frantic Unholy Cathedral and the massive Titan Hunt, along with an endless mode that rewards endurance and creativity. In a genre crowded with action RPGs chasing cinematic stories and endless exposition, Dark Hunting Ground takes a very different approach. This is a game built for players who care about mechanics first and foremost, offering a roguelite experience that thrives on loot, customization, and the constant pursuit of stronger builds. Instead of lengthy cutscenes or dialogue, it places all of its energy into progression systems and player freedom, ensuring every run feels distinct. The heart of the game lies in its skill and gear variety. With 18 active skills, each boosted by 6 possible support abilities, it allows for experimentation without punishment, making theory crafting both approachable and rewarding. Crafting loot filters and auto-loot smooth out the grind, while the freedom to reshape characters keeps replayability high. That said, the lack of controller support and occasional optimization problems, particularly when builds flood the screen with projectiles, remind you that this is still a work in progress. From the studio behind Ori and the Blind Forest, No Rest for the Wicked attempts to bridge two demanding genres: Souls-like precision and action RPG loot build-driven progression. You play as a Serim, one of holy warriors in a land called Isola Sacra, trying to halt a returning plague called the Pestilence, while getting tangled in political turmoil among rulers, rebels, and the corrupt church. Combat is deliberate and weighty. Dodge rolls, parries, stamina, and different weapon movesets push you to think instead of button mashing. The gear and crafting systems are also deep. Weapons, armor, runes, and enchantments allow meaningful customization. There are also base building aspects like cooking, gathering, and exploring off the beaten path for treasures. New endgame content from the last update also introduces more zones, although the loot or variation still needs to be improved. Rogue Labyrinth makes a strong case for itself as one of 2025's more approachable roguelites. Its pixel art world is bright and inviting, and its premise is straightforward. The story is light and unobtrusive, helped by short cutscenes, bits of humor, and a cast of supporting characters that add some warmth between fights. The real appeal is the combat. Each run unfolds on a procedurally generated hex grid, where every tile is a new arena to clear. Battles feel crisp, with melee strikes, dashes, range projectiles, and artifacts that add elemental effects or unique abilities. Thornballs in particular give fights a fun tactical edge, bouncing shots across the screen and rewarding clever positioning. Between stages, you'll pick up artifacts, buffs, and even gamble for risky upgrades, keeping the sense of experimentation alive. Progression outside the labyrinth is also steady, with new weapons, upgrades, and character missions that encourage different builds. UnderMine 2 enters early access with plenty of charm, but also plenty of rough edges. It builds on the foundation of the first game, offering a roguelike dungeon crawl where each new peasant is sent beneath Delvimore Castle to uncover secrets and rescue wayward workers. The presentation is immediately inviting. The pixel art is vibrant, with smooth animations and lively environments that encourage exploration. Enemies are quirky and memorable, from mischievous slimes to hulking beasts, and interactive details like blasting open hidden rooms add personality to every run. The challenge, however, comes quickly. Even early encounters can overwhelm you, as room layouts and enemy swarms sometimes can be punishing. Relics and blessings also promise variety, and the crafting system makes the overall progression feels more satisfying. Drova Forsaken Kin is an action RPG steeped in Celtic myth, a dark and dangerous tale from Just 2D and published by Deck 13. You step into the role of a druid cast out from your tribe, wandering a broken land in search of truth after a great calamity. The narrative is rich with choice and consequences. Eventually, you must pledge allegiance either to the pragmatic remnants or the mysterious Nemeton. Each faction shapes not only your story but your worldview, and the writing balances gravity with just enough humor to give characters life. Combat is sharp, fast, and demanding. Every swing, block, and dodge draws from a shared stamina pool, pushing you to read enemy cues and master their patterns. The progression also offers freedom. Prestige unlocks abilities, learning points raise core stats, and skills can be tailored to fit your style. After a long stretch in early access, Jotunnslayer has arrived in full, and it's clear the time spent refining it has paid off. At its core, this is an auto-shooter in the vein of Vampire Survivors, but layered with enough action RPG depth to stand apart. You select a character, enter a battlefield drawn from Norse myth, and slowly build a web of abilities that trigger automatically, turning you into a walking storm of destruction. What sets Jotunnslayer apart is how it blends its frantic survival with mythological flair. The god powers are a highlight, channeling Thor's lightning, summoning Odin's ravens, or weaving Loki's tricks into your arsenal. Each run feels like a chance to experiment, and thanks to character-by-character progression resets, you can test builds without being locked in. With Beneath Ancient Skies update, Last Epoch has cemented itself as one of the must-play action RPGs of 2025. This update introduces a wealth of new content while refining what already made the game so compelling. The highlight is the Primal Hunt, a fresh endgame system where players chase down the adaptive Rift Beast across time. Each encounter lets you shape how the creature evolves, creating a cycle of escalating challenges and rewards that feels both tense and rewarding. The campaign expands with a 10th chapter set in the Ancient Era, a visually striking realm filled with dinosaurs and polished environments. Class updates also bring new life to old favorites, with the Acolyte's Lich and Necromancer masteries receiving major overhauls and additional skills to experiment with. Core systems like crafting, stash management, and loot filtering have all been improved, making progression smoother without losing depth. After more than a year in early access, Hades 2 is about to launch in full, and it already feels like one of the most important roguelikes of the decade. Supergiant Games has built upon the strengths of the first title, while adding layers of depth that make each run unpredictable and endlessly replayable. The shifting balance of boons, weapons, and arcana cards during early access kept the experience fresh, and while the full release will stabilize things, it still retains the unpredictability that defines the genre. Combat remains fast and satisfying, with weapons like the Sister Blades or Umbral Flames offering distinct playstyles, while newly refined systems make experimentation rewarding. Beyond the action, the game emphasizes relationships with gods and companions, with expanded romance and dialogue options that give runs a strong narrative pull. The long-awaited return of Titan Quest has finally arrived, and even in early access, it already feels like a strong foundation for one of 2025's most promising action RPGs. The game opens with a powerful scene of Spartan downfall, setting the tone for a journey shaped by myth, tragedy, and survival. Gameplay stays true to the genre's roots, fighting monsters, gathering loot, and steadily building power. But Titan Quest II adds depth in how progression is handled. Attribute points influence multiple secondary stats, while the mastery system allows you to tailor skills through modifiers. The dual mastery choices with multiple paths already offer variety, and the option to respec keeps experimentation open. Combat also feels deliberate and challenging, leaning toward precision rather than swarms of enemies, and this grounded pace distinguishes it from Diablo-style chaos. Path of Exile 2 has always carried the weight of expectation, but its newest update proves grinding gear games is building something far beyond a traditional ARPG. With the arrival of Act 4, the campaign takes a dramatic step forward, blending imaginative set pieces, inventive boss fights, and a freedom of exploration that sets it apart from earlier acts. Unlike the more linear start, Act 4 introduces island hopping structure, letting players tackle different regions in any order. Each location offers its own storyline, challenges, and rewards, creating a variety that keeps the pace brisk and avoids the fatigue of endless dungeon crawling. What makes this update stand out is how it reshapes the entire campaign experience. It's no longer just a stepping stone to the endgame, and with 2 acts still to come, Path of Exile 2 is shaping up to deliver one of the best ARPG campaigns in years. Alright boys, I think that's it for today. I know that there are other new isometric ARPGs that I haven't mentioned yet, so how about share your best new isometric ARPGs that probably deserve a spot in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss another great list. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Peace!